on Ibadan, Ilesha Akure Bini Expressway. A contract has been awarded the Bini Akure section. The contractor is mobilized, and very soon it will begin to execute works on the project. On Akure Iju Itaobolu Ikere Road, we have two contractors there, one on the Ekiti section and one on the Ondo section. On the Ondo section, the contractor has completed works up to 14.2 kilometers to binder level on one side. And on the Ekiti section, the contractor has completed 17 kilometers up to binder level. The benefits of all these critical road corridors, when they are completed, are that they will improve tourism development, they will improve shoreline protection and environmental sustainability, they will encourage regional integration and development, they will add to the carbon credit of Nigeria by the use of concrete pavements and solar lights, and they also have the benefit of windmill power generation. All these will also lead to foreign direct investment along the various road corridors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, a round of applause for Engineer Gola. You were very precise. We move now to the chairman of PENCOM, Chief Okoyemi Agbaje. We'll take your brief, sir. Please don't forget questions. Write them down and please pass right after this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My key point is that the president is massive reforms of the Nigerian pension sector being carried on through, of course, the National Pension Commission, and for those who retired before the commencement of the contributory pension scheme, which PENCOM oversees, the PTAD department. The commitment the president has demonstrated to the pension sector is unparalleled since the return to democracy. I'll first mention some very important initiatives that this audience should be very concerned about. So, today the contributory pension scheme that PENCOM oversees has accumulated pensions to about 26 trillion naira. The biggest source of capital for development, for long-term economic development in Nigeria today is the pension system. And now PENCOM has decided that we have to rechannel pension funds as a catalyst for national development. So in the last 20 years, of course, we know the contributory pension system started in 2004 with the Pension Reform Act of 2004, which was revised in 2014 to the Pensions Reform Act of 2014, which is our current legislation. Since that, roughly 20 years of operation of the contributory pension system, pension funds have mostly gone into fixed income securities, treasury bills, bonds, things like that, essentially into funding the governments of Nigeria, the federal government and the state government. This PENCOM, under President Tinubu's guidance and leadership, and in compliance with his vision for Nigeria, we have passed new guidelines, and pensions are going to be rechanneled largely, significantly, towards infrastructure, towards housing and mortgages, real estate, towards venture capital, private equity, towards agriculture. In short, pension funds are being rechanneled towards long-term national economic development. But there is an implication for us in the Southwest. PENCOM's guidelines will not allow any entity, whether state or federal or private, to benefit from pension funds if you are not fully compliant with the Pension Reform Act. I know, as chairman of PENCOM, based on the briefs I've seen, that mostly Lagos State is the most compliant state in Nigeria in terms of remitting pension contributions, in terms of complying with all our guidelines, and consequently, for those who have followed Lagos State's financing strategies, they have been the one that has benefited from the capital market, mostly from pension funds, in terms of developing the states. So I want to use this special occasion. Unfortunately, many of our governors have left, but there are still enough dignitaries from all the 6 states of the Southwest. Please comply with the Pension Reform Act. I'm willing to be a resource, to be of assistance in ensuring that compliance. But if you don't, going forward, you could afford to not comply before. But now, if you don't comply, you are excluding your state, in effect, from the benefits of all the funding that will now be increasingly going into infrastructure, into real estate, into housing and mortgages, into mortgage-backed securities, into agriculture, and into private equity investments. That will be a massive self-inflicted wound. So it is important that you are going to see very soon that there will be 2 eras in the development of the Nigerian contributory pension scheme. The first era, ending 2025, in which pension funds were mostly going into bonds and fixed income statements. But going forward, you will see a greater flow of pension funds into infrastructure and these other areas that I've mentioned. It will be in the interest of our states if we all begin to comply with the Act, in order that we can then be accessing the funds in the pension system to do infrastructure development, public-private partnerships, to access pension funds. That's a very important, and for me, that's my most important message. Beyond that, like I said, the President has shown great commitment to sustaining a socially humane pension system. So there are plans. The PENCOM has also come up with a policy on personal pensions. So up to date, we have had pensions go mostly into the formal sector, people working for, who are contributing pensions, people who work for government, who work for the large corporates, and so on. Increasingly, we have also come up with a plan and a policy and investment guidelines to pension fund administrators for a personal pension scheme targeting the formal sector. So we want everybody to participate in personal pensions. The artisans, the formal sector workers, self-employed individuals, no matter how little. Informal sector operators, so that there can be social protection for them as well. And that has led to new guidelines from the National Pension Commission to allow agents, just like you have banking agents with all those POSs, we're going to allow accredited, authorized pension agents. Of course, they must be solid entities, but not as big as the PFAs, who are going to be able to go after all the small people and draw much more of our people, including people in the formal sector, into the pension scheme. That will be an important development in ensuring social protection. Most of our people, just one sickness or illness or one period of economic difficulty wipes them out without any social protection. And that's how many die young and lower life expectancy. So we're going to be drawing the guidelines are already out, the scheme is already operational, but you are going to be seeing the impact of that over the next few years. Like I said, there will be a second era that includes investments flowing into infrastructure and those areas I mentioned, as well as the drawing of the informal sector into the pension system. I mentioned healthcare, and this is a direct...
As you round up, sir.
This is the desire of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has charged PENCOM with looking for a way of using as a foundation for a health insurance program. And we're working on that. By God's grace, the Commission has a target of December to do that. The final point I'll make is President Tinubu has demonstrated strong commitment to filling their funding gaps in Nigeria's pensions, both with the PTAD, which is not under PENCOM, which are people who retired before PENCOM, and with even there is the concept of the minimum pension in our laws. And President Tinubu has charged PENCOM with implementing that so that everybody has, no matter how much is accumulated, there's a specified minimum pension. And the President has directed PENCOM to operationalize that and has expressed willingness to provide funding for that purpose. Of course, that funding, because it's an initiative of government to guarantee a minimum living standard for every retiree, that will have to be funded by government. And I'm aware that the President has made a commitment to funding of almost or approximately 750 billion naira for the purpose of the minimum pension. So I want to stress here that both the President and we, his appointees on the board and management of PENCOM, are determined to use the Nigerian pension system as a catalyst for national development and a vehicle for ensuring humane standards of living of our retirees. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. You can hold on to the mic. Right, we've taken the briefs from the three presenters here. We will be going straight into questions. Coincidentally, the first two questions are for the chairman of PENCOM. The first one says, we have seen repeated pensioners protest in our country over the years. What is PENCOM doing to clear this backlog and put an end to pensioners' protests? Hold on, sir. The second one is a scenario painted. To the PENCOM chairman again, sir, how long does it take a PFA to process the payment to a beneficiary? The person lost a brother 5.5 years ago. After presentation of all the documents requested, they're still waiting. The name of the pension scheme is Premium Pension.
Okay, now this second, let me take the second one first. I was at the Senate about, I think 2 weeks ago for confirmation hearing, and a senator raised the same point, and he was raising it in respect of himself, a retired professor from the Southeast. So it's a real problem. There are cases in which the process is seamless, and the process happens very fast. There are documents that PENCOM guidelines require people to provide: your letter of employment, your letter of retirement, things like that. There are many people who have not handled their records very well and who therefore have significant challenges in the process. But irrespective of whatever excuses, we as the new board of PENCOM have made a vow that our objective is to make the process of onboarding Nigerians on pensions seamless and as much as possible, as fast as possible. And we have resolved that we'll make that a key assessment criteria for our pension fund administrators. So I cannot comment on the past. I know that PENCOM, even from the past, has been a reasonably efficient organization. But we are resolved that going forward, that process of onboarding pensioners onto the pension scheme will be, God helping us, more efficient and more seamless. Now, I must make a point. There are two schemes. I alluded to it. There are two schemes for pensioners. If you retired earlier than 2005, I think, you are not, because many of the things you spoke about, the question, the other question, protests and all of that, they are often not about PENCOM contributors. The pension fund under PENCOM is a contributory pension scheme. You contributed to it. The funds are not with us at PENCOM. They are not with government. They are with your pension fund custodian who administers, who treats them subject to the instructions of your pension fund administrator, who treats them subject to your own instructions. So it's a very robust and well thought out, well structured scheme if you are under PENCOM. The unfunded pensions, which are historical liabilities of the government of Nigeria, are under PTAD, Pension Transitional Administration Department, because it's a scheme that will, a bad word, but let me use the only word, it's a scheme that will die off as all those who are under that scheme are diseased. It's an expiring scheme. So there is unfunded. It was a gratuity scheme that the federal government had to fund. But like I said, President Tinubu is providing huge funding to fund all those outstanding liabilities, whether it's for the unfunded schemes under PTAD or for the minimum pension scheme that pension is now creating. So I even if I say so, I want to commend the President for his commitment to a humane pension system and appropriate standard of living for our pensioners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, moving straight to Engineer Agbola. Engineer Agbola, this one is a comment. I dare say personal experience. I took down notes while you were talking. So you've answered the question, but I'd like you to shed a bit more light because there is one of the roads mentioned here that wasn't on your list. So this person says Southwest roads are death traps. For instance, number 1, Ibadan, Ile-Ife, Ilesha, which you mentioned, Ijebu-Ode Ore, which you also mentioned, Ikole-Ekiti to Kaba, which you didn't mention, and many others. He said they can do minor repairs to reduce the hardship. Do you want to pass a few comments about that? Just a few words.
Yes. What had happened in the past, like I said, is that there were challenges with the previous on the Ibadan, Akure, Ilesha. But if you go there recently, you will see that the contractor has started work on that axis. Starting from Ilesha, he has started work.
We can see sand on the way. Being a bit sand. A bit delivery of sand.
Not
on the way.
He has also started, he has started
That's what we
excavation
said,
of
na
the road.
sand.
He has
From
started.
Ikoromoja Junction to Ilesha Junction, there's sand being delivered on the way.
The road construction will not be done in a day. It will take some time.
Okay.
So, but
All right, sir.
the important
Thank
thing
you,
is
sir.
that
We
the
still
work
have
has.
one more question for her. Yes. And the last question here is for, thank you so much, Engineer Bola. And the last question for Dr. Adeleke. We have, who is responsible for monitoring the state of the primary health care center and ensuring they are habitable for patients? Also, who ensures that PHCs have drugs and other equipment required to attend to patients?
Thank you so much for that question. That is the responsibility of National Primary Care Development Agency in collaboration with the State Primary Care Board to see that the primary care facilities are in good condition. And I think I mentioned that revitalization of primary care is already ongoing. There are some pictures I put on the slide that shows before and what it is now. So it's ongoing, and we are monitoring it to see that the PAC's facilities in our various communities, it's good. Everybody should be able to use it. Thank you.
All right, that's why we call it a wrap on this first panel session. I'd like to say thank you to the representative of the Ministry of Works, Engineer Olajide Agbola, the Director of Federal Highways, Southwest. I also want to say thank you to Dr. Adebiyi, representative of the National Primary Health Development Agency. Thank you. And of course, Chief Okoyemi Agbaje, Chairman of PENCOM. Thank you so much for your contributions, sir. We look forward to seeing these translate to direct impact on the lives of Nigerians. We take a few pictures and then we hand over to the moderator of the event.
Thank you very much. Please, can we put our hands together for the panelists? Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll have a quick one, a group picture here, and then that will be it. Thank you so much for throwing light on the activities of your agencies and bodies. Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣeun. Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ̀yin
Okay.
ìyá wa, ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Apá kan alto, apá kejì tenor. Ó fi dáa náà ni. Green and white. Thank you. Lemon and white. Ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́. It is now time. It's now time to listen to a man who represented us so well, made his mark, and we are still excited about the fact that it's still very, very much relevant in the scheme of things in this country. But I'll tell you, when this man was in office, unfortunately, I never knew that I had the privilege of sharing that same citadel of learning with him. I'm talking about the great University of Ife. Great Ife! Right now, ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, our royal fathers, we have the privilege of bringing up for a few minutes a former Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonisake. Can we clap for him, please?
For him as he makes his way to the podium.
Around èmi ò ṣe mọ́ ń ṣe gàràgàrà ń títì rẹ̀ o. Bólúwa rẹ̀ lọ ṣe gàràgàrà sírú eléyìí ẹ̀rẹ́lọ́gbẹ̀ni tí ń bọ̀ yìí nínú mọ́fìtì tiẹ̀ bá ní mo dúpẹ́ mo jẹ́jẹ́ ni ẹ bá mi wọ́n látẹ̀wọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i.
Your Royal Highnesses, our Royal Fathers, thank you for your patience. We appreciate your patience. God will continue to honor you. Distinguished sons and daughters of Udua, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and privilege that I extend my heartfelt goodwill for the Southwest Stakeholder Dialogue with the theme, Strengthening Democracy Through Dialogue, Assessing Progress, Charting the Future. This remarkable event stands as a testament to our shared commitment to shaping a brighter and more prosperous future for the Southwest region and by extension, our beloved nation, Nigeria. This event is of utmost importance because in convening diverse voices, expertise, and experiences, we are provided with a unique platform to reflect upon our journey, evaluate our achievements, and chart a purposeful course for tomorrow. The theme is both timely and appropriate. It encourages us to celebrate our successes while remaining vigilant and proactive in addressing emerging challenges and opportunities. I am deeply appreciative of the unwavering commitment demonstrated by our governors, political leaders, traditional institutions, public officials, business innovators, civil societies, organizations, our youths, and indeed all stakeholders. Your collective efforts have been instrumental in steering the Southwest region towards greater social cohesion, economic advancement, and infrastructural development. This dedication, resilience, and vision you have shown are the pillars upon which our progress rests. Together, we have made significant strides in various sectors. Investment in education have yielded a generation better equipped for demand of a rapidly changing world. Healthcare initiatives have improved the lives and well-being of our communities. Infrastructure projects and enhanced connectivity and created new opportunities for commerce and collaboration. Our joint endeavor in promoting peace, security, and inclusive growth are evident in the harmonious atmosphere and positive transformation witnessed across the region. As we gather to assess our progress, let us be inspired by what we have accomplished and remain steadfast in our resolve to do even more. The future beckons with promise, but it also demands innovation, unity, and perseverance. I urge all present to continue to foster meaningful partnership, embracing new ideas, and striving for excellence in our various roles. The collective power of our collaboration will ensure that our aspirations are realized and our region remain at the forefront of national development. Looking ahead, I envision a Southwest that is a beacon of opportunities, inclusivity, and progress. Let us deepen our investment in human capital, technology, and sustainable development. We must remain open to constructive dialogue, harness the potential of our youth, and champion policies that promote equity and prosperity for all. By working together, we can chart a future that honors our heritage and secure lasting legacies for generations unborn. As we live here today, please let us endeavor to ensure that the outcome of this event serves as additional catalyst for transformative action and continued progress. Thank you all for your attention. God bless you.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, please. General Abayomi Oloni Shakin, former Chief of Defense Staff, we say thank you so much, sir. Yes, I know. We are now moving on to some of us. We are moving on to these people that are actually part and parcel of us. We share blood, we share language, our culture, our tradition, very similar. There is no way you're going to write the history of the Yorubas without adding the Shekiris to it. Is somebody clapping in this place? Moki Dede Ahan. May I invite Mr. Patrick Doyle to come up and speak for the Shekiris. Let's encourage him, please. Let's encourage him, please. After this, we'll be rounding up. We'll be rounding up.
Pẹ̀lú àṣẹ Olùtí Ìwẹ̀rẹ̀ Ògíàmẹ̀ Àtúwàṣe Ọ̀kẹta, mo kí yín pàápàá jùlọ, mo kí àwọn olórí adé wa, mo dẹ̀ mú mo kí gbogbo olórí adé wa tí wọ́n ń bí báyìí àti gbogbo aṣíwájú wa. Okay, let me now say this in Ishekiri. In Ishekiri we say, mo kí dédé hàn, mo kí gbogbo wa tá wà ń bí. Now, on behalf of the good people of Iwere land, we are very happy to be here today. We are happy to be here today because there was a time when there was Western Nigeria and we were an integral part of Western Nigeria. There was a time at the beginning of Afenifere, some of our illustrious sons were there. Chief Ruwane, and we are an integral part of the political family of the Awolowo dynasty. And I stand here today as an ambassador of the good people of Iwere land. In recent times, we have had to make a pivot because for too long, we had affiliated ourselves with hostile neighbors, forgetting that we have very, very, very sound neighbors in our brothers, especially our brothers Ilaje, who, by the grace of God, are the helm of affairs in Ondo State. We would like to say that we consider ourselves at this time, because of the present hostilities that we have had to endure in the hands of our hostile neighbors, we now consider ourselves an integral part of the Yoruba nation, and we intend to fully assimilate and make our presence felt with the general Yoruba nation. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Ogiame Suo.
Thank you, my brother and friend and colleague, Patrick Doyle. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Commander Kunle Olawumi is coming up. He's coming up. Please, let's encourage him. Let's encourage him. We just heard from the Shekiris. Commander Olawumi has a very brief one. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I know our time is well spent. My name is Commodore Kunle Olaomi, and the purpose of coming here is actually to look at the security architecture of Southwest. I'm just going to ask a few questions, and without conceding, let us assume that 2027 may be the last time maybe a Yoruba man will govern this country. So what are the plans? Without conceding, let us assume that 2032, Tinubu will be there for 8 years. After 2032, when the Yoruba has finished their reign, what becomes of the Yoruba Southwest? It's on this note I want us to reappraise the need to enhance our security architecture in the Southwest, albeit that we have the Amotekun. But I think on a serious note, we should begin to look at our retired generals and senior officers and see how we can empower them. Because I'm very close to Arewa Consultative Forum. If you look at what their governors are doing, I don't see why the Southwest governor cannot do the same by empowering our youths to be able to stand in the gap when the Janjaweeds will be approaching from the Kogi, Kwara sector to Ekiti, Oyo, Ondo, which is inevitable anyway. And we cannot depend all the time on the federal troops. So, on this note, I just want to say that the Southwest governor should try to set up an endowment fund, a way to actually get tools for our youths and train them to be able to defend the Southwest when the time comes, because this is inevitable as we approach 2027. Thank you very much.
Do we have Toyin ready there for a few minutes before we say the final thank you? Do we have the communique ready? We have the communique ready. Okay, okay, please, please come. Please come, please come. Kehinde Adebayo is here. Just 1 second, Toyin. Just 1 second, Toyin. 1 second. Kehinde Adebayo to deliver the communique. Yes.
Standing on the existing protocol, I'll be reading the resolutions and recommendations from this two-day event, the Southwest Stakeholder Dialogue. Having deliberated extensively on the state of governance, development and citizen welfare in the Southwest, hereby resolve and recommend as follows. The summit resolves to submit this communique to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for consideration and action, and also to transmit the resolutions to the relevant federal ministries, departments, and agencies. Yoruba unity and governance. The summit calls for strengthening Yoruba unity and solidarity across all Southwest states and extended Yoruba communities, committing to transcend partisan political differences in pursuit of collective regional development and the advancement of our shared cultural heritage.